Welcome back to SME Insights. My name is Rob Luce. I have the pleasure of serving as Vice President of the SME Education Foundation. And joining me today is my good friend Paul Aiello, who is the Executive Director of Education at FANUC America. Paul and I are going to discuss the partnership between the SME Education Foundation and FANUC and how that partnership is hopefully making strides advancing the next generation of manufacturing and engineering talent. Paul, welcome to SME Insights.
Thank you, Rob. Good to be here.
Thank you. And maybe we can start by having you tell us a little bit about the education offerings at FANUC.
Sure. So we have partnered with education proactively for the last 15 years, really putting industrial robots directly in the classroom, really to create experiences for students at every level, from high schools to community colleges to universities, to align the technology that's being deployed into industry with education, so that students are learning on the exact same equipment today and what's emerging and have that real life experience. And since we started this back in the end of 2009, we've now amassed a network of schools, a little over 1,650 schools across the country.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So after 15 years, it's part of the corporate ethos. Why do you think it's important for companies like FANUC to invest in education and workforce development initiatives?
Yeah, it's a great question. So FANUC is truly committed to education. Our goal was to really help develop a talented pipeline of individuals, job seekers, students, closer to the employers. Our customers that are implementing automation is to develop that talent pipeline closer to them, but also to inspire students about the exciting and rewarding careers in automation, in robotics, and CNC. It's fun, it's exciting.
And there's a lot of them. Do you have any insight into how much of an impact these programs have made?
Yeah, so tremendous impact.
I bet, yeah.
On students, we can get down there. There's so many just those, programs that are changing lives at every level, from high school students that can now enter into the workforce, from students that are learning these programs in a college or a university program. But we also are part of the transition assistant program, so people departing our military service that are getting trained, and inner city community service programs that we put our training programs within. So incredibly impactful. Over the years now, we estimate that by the end of this summer, we will have created over 1 million student experiences in the last 15 years. So
that's absolutely
changing
incredible.
lives. Yeah.
1,600 schools over 15 years. Yeah. That's impressive.
Yeah, thanks. It's really incredible how FANUC has embraced this whole approach. Now that we provide a gift in kind to every school to make sure that they can stand up the program, that they can incorporate instructor training and certification so they know how to teach it. We gift the curriculum, the e-learning, the simulation software, so that they have the same tools to teach that we teach for industry. And FANUC has directly embraced that. From our CEO to our parent company, said that this is the future. We need to build a workforce that understands this technology to be competitive. And what's really interesting is the perceptions that we used to fight, that automation took away jobs, or that these were just factory and manufacturing jobs, has completely changed, because now for every robot system that's installed, the ecosystem of manufacturing swells with more talent. There's more needs out there, and that these jobs are not in the dark, dirty, dangerous, environmentally hazardous jobs out there. We're putting automation in to solve those challenges, but we need people that understand how this technology works, how to deploy it, how to maintain it, and how to advance it.
So you talked a little bit about the in-kind contribution. So it's a lot more than just the robot. What is the value of that in-kind contribution?
So for every single school that we partner with, there's about a $330,000 gift in kind that goes with that.
That's amazing.
It's very generous, but it's impactful, and it's what needs to happen. And I think a lot of industries really need to recognize that they're deploying this technology, but the key for them to maximize that investment is to have the people and the talent that know how to use it.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's great.
I think if more companies put their money where their mouth was, like FANUC does, we probably wouldn't have as much of a workforce issue in the manufacturing space.
Yeah, we could certainly try to shrink that skills gap that way. Yeah.
So last spring we announced the FANUC Endowed Scholarship.
Yes.
In partnership between FANUC America and the SME Education Foundation. Can you talk a little bit about that scholarship and how it came to be?
Yeah, so part of that is, like you said, putting our money where our mouth is. We wanted to make sure that students all across the country had access and opportunity to go to school, to advance their skills, to increase their capability to enter into the workforce with talent. And that means that a lot of times we're going to have to go to an academic program that provides that. Sometimes it's cost. We didn't want cost to be a barrier. So we had the direction, the decision to implement a scholarship. We partnered with SME, which we couldn't be more thankful than to have such a great partnership. But we also wanted to make sure that this lived on in perpetuity. So we, FANUC, along with our Authorized Systems Integrator Network, our Education Solution Provider Network, banded together to fund $1 million scholarship program that we can impact lives, that we can change lives and offer scholarships to students within that program. So it's been a really rewarding thing to help put together. But you know, it's really, our CEO Mike Chico is so passionate about this program and what it meant to bring our networks together and get everybody pulling in the same direction. It's been a wonderful experience.
I think it was a brilliant decision to not go it alone and bring in your authorized system integrators and your education service partners to ensure that it wasn't just FANUC corporate, but it was the entire FANUC community across the United States.
Yeah, absolutely. And really we all kind of benefit from that.
Sure.
Everybody contributes to that program, which contributes to the development of the next generation workforce, which we all need, and nothing is slowing down in this industry. It just continues to expand. You know, we're here at this conference. It's incredible the amount of technology that's involved in going on.
A rising tide lifts all boats. And I believe when fully funded, that scholarship will award at least 50 scholarships annually.
Yeah, I think that was our biggest thing. We wanted to go beyond, you know, having a scholarship that awarded one or two students. How could we do something that is more impactful, that gives more students the opportunity? So it's a great program, great initiative.
Paul, with the increasing adoption of automation in the manufacturing sector, what can schools do to better embrace technology to ensure their graduates are prepared for the modern manufacturing industry?
Yeah, it's a great question, and we get asked that a lot about schools. My response to that is add more technology, increase the opportunity to create experiences for a student, and they should be real world experiences. So many times there were equipment that were installed into schools that purported to align to industry, but they were an academic tool. There is no reason that a school cannot adapt real industrial technology and put it in the classroom. Our goal, and you look at that when I said we created 1 million experiences, the reason I say experiences, they're learning on a robot or they're engaged in the software for simulation or programming or operating. But the reason I say experiences is because the number one factor which determines a student's career path is not a teacher or a parent, a counselor, a principal, it's the experiences that they have. So if we can put that technology in the classroom and it speaks to a student, or it may not, and that helps them narrow what is calling them for their career, that's what's important to us. So if we put it in there and they create, it inspires them to say, I want to go into this field. It's something they would never have known if that technology wasn't in the classroom. So that's why it's important to do that. And there's no reason to not have the real technology. Students are really very adaptive to digital technology. Absolutely. And that's what we have. So
technology is key. I say it all the time. You have the most technologically advanced generation in the history of the world, and you have a manufacturing industry that is increasingly complex and technologically advanced. If you can marry the two together, that workforce shortage becomes history.
Yeah, extremely well said. It's just aligning them. They need to come together. And what's really interesting is, you know, education, I always say, needs to move at the speed of business. So technology is evolving. The only way to do that is to partner with technology companies. Let them help guide the way these programs move and the speed at which they evolve. So.
Well, thank you for all you and the FANUC team do to engage the next generation and ensure that your technology is in the classroom. We appreciate what you do for industry, and we certainly appreciate the trust that you have instilled in the SME Education Foundation to manage this scholarship. We're looking forward to many years of partnership.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you for all that you do.
Thanks, Paul.
Appreciate it. All right.